Okay, so I'm Dave Jones, I'm the Creative Director at Real Time Worlds, and we're here to have a look at work in progress on our next game, which is an online-only game for PC called A.P.B. So let's have a look at this here. So what you're seeing here is it's the first kind of what we call next generation online game, because it's very fast, very dynamic, and it's a third-person action game. Fully online, so there's online-only play. And one of the great features about A.P.B. is that the fact that you can really make your own characters to an immense level of detail. So we've given for the first time players, we believe in online games, an unprecedented level of customization. So even over 100,000 players, you can look exactly as you want and different from any other player. So here, for example, we can see a character that players made, a female character. The clothing, the tattoos, effectively all the pattern on the clothing, her hairstyle, all created by the players. Even the vehicle itself, fully customized and made by the player. So A.P.B. offers an unprecedented level of customization, and that customization, because we're online, we're persistent, can be shared with other players, people in your clans, and we even have an auction house, so you can actually sell these kind of items to other players as well. Here you can see she's basically part of a group, and she's about to go out probably on a mission. The players with their names in green are part of her group. And as I said, it's a mission-based game. Basically, there are NPCs in the game world who will offer missions to your group. You accept those missions, and off you go and start working on that mission as directed. And the cool thing about the mission system in A.P.B. is that it's what we call dynamic matchmaking. So this player is playing a criminal. So for example, she'll be given a mission where she has to go and her group has to go and steal some explosives. Now, up until that point in the mission, they haven't done anything wrong, so other players on the enforcer side can't oppose them, they can't kill them. But as soon as effectively they commit a crime, stealing those explosives, for example, we then look, the game looks for enforcers to pitch against them because they committed a crime. And that's what we call a dynamic matchmaking. So effectively what the enforcers get is they get given their own mission, which is to oppose these criminals. So as I say, for example, they may steal some explosives, and the next part of their mission is to go and bomb some targets. The enforcers will then be given a mission that they've heard about, that these criminals are about to bomb some targets, get given the same place, and they have to defend it. So the mission's kind of intertwined between different players. Here you can see the players are basically, one person can drive, the other players can lean out the windows and shoot. Shooting some bystanders, unfortunately, here as well. Oops, and that's a good way to kill people as well, is obviously, to run them over. So it's a very, very competitive game, very strategic. You have to play really well as a group together. We have full voice over IP to support that, so you have full voice over IP built into the game as standard between the groups. It's fully 3D as well, so even if a player's not in your group, you can just walk up to anybody in the world and chat to them. So it's what we call fully positional 3D voice over IP. Of course, just like in any kind of open mode sandbox game, you can steal any vehicle you see. Enforcers can effectively commandeer any vehicle they see. The action itself takes place, sometimes it's about driving. A lot of the mission objectives are down back alleys and streets, so there's a nice flow of leaping over fences, leaping over walls, getting to areas, then busting out into streets, back into vehicles. So we wanted to capture that really at kind of the great things you see in movies about great car chases and great on-foot scenes. So we've taken some combat here. We have a normal kind of map and HUD system down the right-hand side, which shows basically where the shots are coming from. She's been stunned here. Enforcers have what we call less than lethal weapons, and they can actually arrest players. So arresting is quite cool. It makes the two sides of the game very different. It's something that criminals can't do. And it's very humiliating as a criminal if you do get arrested. It basically takes you out of the action for about an extra 15 to 20 seconds. But if you're lucky, your teammates can actually come and free you as well. So eventually she was out of the action there, killed as well. Part of the customization is actually audio as well. So for example, when you die, players can create what we call death themes. And when you die, effectively you get to hear the theme that this other player has created. So effectively they're just kind of goading you all the time and making sure you know who they are. And that's one of the great things about A.P.B. We wanted to make it so that players can actually become famous in the world. You'll recognize players by sight, you'll remember them, you'll remember what they're for. We have many leagues, daily, weekly, monthly leagues, which players can top and become famous for. They have great rewards. So it's all about creating the exact identity that you want for yourself and your clan via music, customization, vehicles. She's getting arrested again. It's pretty embarrassing. We have a league, for example, for the most arrests per day, the most arrests per week. There you go. She's hopefully about to be saved from one of her teammates. Here he comes. 2 of them. There you go. That's good team play. And of course, we have this kind of, you're very vulnerable when you're unlocking somebody's handcuffs, or likewise when the enforcers are trying to arrest somebody. But we give you a big boost to the enforcers, a big reward if you do a lot of good arrests. So the missions are very dynamic. They're taking you from different positions in the city to other different positions, etc. So you're always constantly on the move, looking for, vehicles to get around as fast as you can. All the weapons are fully upgradable, the vehicles are fully upgradable, your character's fully upgradable. There are literally thousands of unlocks in the game to upgrade all of these, so you can really kit out your character depending on the kind of playstyle you like, whether you like SMGs or rocket launchers or shotguns. That's all something you can decide between your team how you want to play. When you're actually in your vehicle, you can play any kind of music you want. So we integrated the Last.fm technology. So basically, you can import all your own music collection, your MP3s, and just play that, as you're cruising around. And what the FM technology does is it basically, if somebody doesn't have exactly the same track you have, it basically transmits the kind of music you're listening to. So if you want to drive around and you're a player who wants to be known for listening to opera while you're going on a killing spree, then as long as other players have at least potentially one kind of piece of opera kind of music, then they will hear the kind of theme music that you want them to hear. Just now this mission is basically a 4v4 mission. But even the missions themselves, in terms of the number of players, are very dynamic. So, for example, if the enforcers feel that they're really under pressure here, they can call for backup, and we can actually bring another group of players into the action as well. And then, likewise, if the criminals feel that they're now outnumbered, they can call for backup. So, what started out as a 4v4 mission can quickly escalate into, say, a 20v20 mission. So, very dynamic and very exciting as the missions progress. Every time you die, you get to see a lot of stats about the player who killed you, what weapon they killed you with, what upgrades they have on that weapon, what rank they are. We have what's called a threat level, which is basically, for the last hour of play, how well you've played. So you get some players, the really good players can achieve very, very, very high threat ratings. We use that threat rating as part of the balancing system for the matchmaking. So we, for example, if a player is extremely good, he's been playing for, say, an hour, and we know his threat rating is very high because he very rarely loses, we may actually match three players against him or of a much lesser rating. So it doesn't always have to be about 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 2 or 4 versus 4. It's completely asymmetrical in how we match. So here they're on a mission basically to destroy some vehicles as part of the mission. Even that skill can be upgraded. So if you want to be a great arsonist, we have ways in the game to even progress your skill as being an arsonist or a lockpicker or for breaking into vehicles. All these skills can be upgraded within the game. Vehicles themselves, as you see, make great explosives as well. So one of the big tactics is to try and effectively use the vehicles themselves as great explosive devices. Okay, looks pretty tough. He must be about to die any second now. There we go.